Aquaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Tony, and this is Ayo, and we're sharing our experience as we move from Texas to Ghana and beyond the return.
Okay, so today we are talking all about the money. We're getting a lot of people who are asking exactly how much does it cost to move to Ghana. So we've invited in a special guest, Miss Ivy Prosper, who has her own channel over here on YouTube, and I'm going to link a card right up there if you want to check her out. And she's going to share some great information about getting your money right before the move. So let's get this video started.
Number 1, getting the paperwork done.
Yeah, before you can even start this process, you're going to have to get some documentation in order. And the first thing that you need is...
Passport. Got to get out of the country to get into the new country.
So if you already have a passport, you don't have to pay for one. But if you don't, it costs about...
$110 plus a filing fee of some sort, so about $150 altogether.
Yeah, if you decide to get the little card, you can now do a passport and a passport card. And when we went to do the boys, we got both. But that was so that they could have their passports at home locked up and still use their passport card as identification while we were abroad. So you might decide you want to do the passport card and upgrade that, but that's going to be up to you and how much you want to spend. But you should plan on at least $110 to get your passport. And then you will also need a visa. How much is the visa? You got to do
the visa, I think it was like $100, and it covered 3 years for adults. The children's visa,
I think it's $60 for the kids visa.
It's about $60 for the kids visa.
And then you'll pay extra if you want it expedited. So I'm going to recommend that you do the 3-year visa. If you are coming and going at all, you want to have it. But if you are going and you are not sure if you're going to be traveling to Benin, Togo, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, maybe, you should just get the multi-entry pass or visa, so you don't have to worry about getting it renewed.
In and out every.
Yes. Yeah. So get that one right off the bat. So that will be another $100. And then you have to get your yellow fever shot. And then that price will depend on
where you get it at. If you go get it at your local physician, probably the best to do and most economical.
Yeah, otherwise if you are trying to do it just on a cash basis, you can plan to pay up to $50. So depending on your insurance, it could be really reasonable, like what, $20, or it could go up to like $50. And that will depend on your insurance, healthcare plan, and things. So $110 for your passport, $100 for the visa, plus another $50 for your yellow fever. That brings you to about $260. And if you decide to get the Visa card, it'll bring it to $300. So. And
these are things that you absolutely need to have when traveling international, and to get in and out of other countries that you're visiting.
Yep. So let's see. What does Ivy have to say about getting some paperwork done? Let's ask Ivy.
If your doctor is willing to give you all of your medical records, like if you have to pay for it, be willing to pay for copies of all of your medical records, whether it's on paper or it's digital. Get a PDF file if they can send it to you, so that you have your entire medical history, so that if you do see a doctor and they need to know information, they have that information. Because some people, your health is very health, allergies and stuff, you need to have all of that stuff, because what if you're in a situation where you can't talk, and someone needs to say, hey, I have access to their medical history, here it is. You can take a look through and see, what they may need. So see if you can get your medical records.
That if you have all of your medical records online, some people think like, oh, no problem, I have them all on my portal, my health portal. But sometimes when you get to Ghana, you can't access the portal because you're logging in from a Ghanaian ISP. So you might think you have access, and then when you try to get access, you actually don't. So I would back up a copy and at least have a USB drive with that kind of stuff on it.
Yes.
At the very least.
Number 2, packing and selling.
So you have decided to move, and there's a couple decisions that you have to make. If you are not sure if you're going to be returning to the States, you probably are going to have to store some of your stuff. Otherwise, it's time to start selling everything off. Highest bidder, come and get it.
Right.
If you have a house that you are planning on renting, you're going to want to set up a management company or someone who can oversee the day-to-day operations or any emergencies that happen while you are abroad. So you checked into the management company. How much was that for
For our house, it's 10% of the rent that we're charging, plus I believe it's 1 month rent for the initial fee. So they'll be taking care of all the maintenance on the house. If something comes up, we don't have to worry about it. They take care of everything on their end.
Got you. Oh, wow. That adds up quick, huh? So if you are renting, something else to add on. But the thing to remember is that if you're renting your house, that means that you are pulling in money in US dollars that you can then use abroad. So having rental property in the States is actually a really great way to supplement your income while you're living overseas. So something to consider, right?
Passive income is always nice.
Always good. And then the other thing, how much is the storage?
Storage is costing us, I believe, around $240 to $300 a month. Yeah.
We need to sell more stuff.
Yeah, we need to sell more stuff.
So if you're going to store things here in the States, you have to think about what that's going to look like. Now, we are in an area that got flooded not so long ago. So we had to really search for a storage unit that has a history of not taking on water in hopes of securing our things. But you should also consider insurance on your storage unit, just in case.
You never know what happens.
No kidding, right?
So you at least want to have something to back you up if they were lost.
Totally. So monthly carrying fee that you'll have for storage will obviously be between $240 and $300 plus the cost of insurance, but you want to have that. So let's do a quick thing. Let's ask Ivy one more question. As you're deciding what to pack, what to sell, and what to bring, let's ask Ivy, what are some things that you absolutely want to bring from the States?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily something that you won't get. I would say it would be more difficult to get or extremely expensive to get the items. So for example, let's say Dove body lotion. If somebody loves Dove body lotion and you can go to Walmart and get it on sale for like $3.99, when you come to Ghana, you can expect that that Dove product that's been imported here is a lot more expensive than it would be that you're used to buying in Walmart, you know, back in the States or, you know, wherever you live. Equipment, you cannot find the latest equipment in Ghana, so you have to import it. So I know a lot of people in the film industry who they will, you know, pool their money together and purchase products on, you know, Amazon or B&H for film and camera stuff and have it shipped. Shipping is expensive in Ghana for having those types of things delivered. So if you work in those types of industries, also know that you can't just be like, well, I'll just go online. So like I have a microphone that I use with my phone when I do interviews for social media. And when I had a problem with it, and I wanted a new one, it was like, I went on Amazon, and on Amazon, the microphone is like, you know, $30, but then the shipping to come to Ghana was like $80 when the item's only $30, you know? So those are some of the things that it's hard to get used to, because I got used to having Amazon Prime. I would just order stuff, it comes with free shipping, but that's not the case here.
So do you think that there are things, I mean, I think electronics comes up a lot for people as they're thinking of what they need to pack or ship or bring with them when they move. But are there any other things that are like that you're, I mean, I think everybody needs to get used to Ghanaian products. If you're going to move to Ghana, get used to Ghanaian products. But there are certain things like electronics and cell phones even that you might decide you want to bring with you.
Yeah, cell phones, I mean, you can get cell phones here, no problem. So yeah, so bring electronics if you have electronics that you want. If you need extras, so like, you know, memory cards are a little bit more expensive here too. So if you want to bring your extra memory cards and stuff like that, but you can find them here. They're just a little bit more expensive. So the main thing is the brands, getting used to the brands being different for certain things.
Number 3, take care of that money, honey.
So you're leaving, and what are you going to do with the bills that are coming in or anything coming in from the government that you still need? You got to take care of that. You got to get a post office box. You got to get your mail routed to somebody that you trust, so that, you know, you're able to handle your business abroad and still be able to have a place for them to send snail mail.
So you can get a lot of your mail electronically, so you don't have to get paper statements. But if you have a need for a post office box, how much is that per year?
They vary, but it should cost you right around $120, $30, something like that.
Yeah, and it does vary by your locale. And then you have to remember too, who's gonna unload your mailbox
Right.
and send you the important stuff. So there are full service businesses that will do this for you. They will open up and process your mail and send it on to you in Ghana. It does take a while to get to you, or if you have someone you trust, you can have it go to them. But at the very least, you are going to expect to pay about $120 per year on that. The other thing to consider with your money is how are you going to get your money abroad. So if you are banking at a community bank, you might find that there are really high fees in order to transfer or wire money internationally. So before you get going, you're going to want to find a bank here in the US that allows you to do international transfers or wire transfers at an affordable rate. Hopefully you are getting some income in on this side. Even if you're not, you might have outgoing money that you need to send. So you want to have established a bank here, preferably with a MasterCard or Visa debit card, and if possible, a credit card too, I would say, that doesn't charge high international fees for usage. So all things you want to look into. Those Western Union fees are like ridiculous. Yeah. So if you can avoid those altogether, that is the best option.
Last year I found using my PayPal debit card worked pretty good because I was able to load money in the States and then be able to use it while I was in Ghana. So PayPal credit card or debit card is also something that works pretty well with moving money around.
Absolutely. So before we go, let's ask Ivy about this one. Ivy, what do we need to know about the money? We have a group of people, and us included, who still need to bank in the US for Social Security, retirement, income. How do you manage banking kind of internationally? How do you move your money around and get access to it there?
I'm fortunate enough that my bank has a system where I can actually transfer money to my bank account in Ghana.
Oh, nice.
It's like, I think it's a $9 charge. So I suggest people to ask their bank what their options are. Because I asked, and that's how I found out that I was able to do that. Most people I know have been wiring money, which gets expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, which gets expensive.
Things like PayPal and those kinds of services are still not approved in Ghana. Is that correct? I know from the last time I checked.
Yes. So PayPal, I have a PayPal account which I can use, but you cannot create a PayPal account in Ghana. If you live here and you want to start an account, you can't say, I'm going to open up a PayPal account at all. So people should prepare for that. Get used to a cash society, because a lot of people use cash in Ghana. You go places where you want to pay with your card and they'll be like, they don't have a debit card machine. They prefer cash. So people prefer cash and mobile money in a lot of places. But places like hotels and some of the restaurants that are frequented by foreigners and tourists are the places that tend to accept credit cards and debit cards. And if you have American Express, forget it. You will not find American Express anywhere. It's very rare. You might find it at like Movenpick Hotel and Kempinski Hotel, and that's it. Everywhere else, it's only Visa or MasterCard. American Express is not popular at all.
That's a very good point, because you cannot use your American Express anywhere. We didn't find anywhere.
Nowhere.
No, not at all.
So I tell people that. So prepare for a cash society. And ask your bank what your bank's policies are with transferring of money, what the fees are.
Number 4, to ship or not.
We fortunately aren't going to be taking a lot. I think we're just limiting ourselves to a couple suitcases per person, and that's about it. We're trying to limit our costs going over as far as shipping, so we won't be taking a vehicle or a whole bunch of personal items. But if you are, you need to be aware of those costs.
All right, so if you are looking to ship your personal goods, this is where the bulk of the money that you are going to spend going to Ghana is going to come into play. You can start small. You can ship a small container, a small kind of pallet-sized drum container of a few personal items, and that can be as low as $500 to $800. The thing to remember, though, is that you will pay custom fees on the other end. So whatever you ship to Ghana, the shipping company will charge you, but then when you get to Ghana,
to get it out of the port, there's another fee, and again, that varies.
So the duty will come in on the back end. So you might decide you want to ship an entire car, and the fee to ship it on the US side might be $2,000 or $3,000. But then when you get to Ghana, they charge you a duty over there, depending on the year, make, and model of the vehicle, up to $15,000 duty fee, depending on the type of car it is. So when you are budgeting for moving a vehicle or using an entire shipping container, please remember the duties and plan on spending anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah. I believe Ivy said one of her friends imported a luxury vehicle and they paid $15,000 or $14,000 import tax on it. So
in
that's
duties.
something you got to consider.
Absolutely. And you cannot ship cars over 10 years old.
Yeah. Due to the environmental concerns Ghana has now, as well as Ghana is now producing their own vehicles. So they want to promote their own car companies, and part of the way to do that is limit the amount of vehicles coming into their country.
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
Yep. So the cost of shipping is going to be the biggest bulk. Could be anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 if you are shipping an entire car, or as little as $800 if you're shipping a small container. Or you may decide that you are not going to ship anything and everything will go into a suitcase with you. So how much is airfare these days?
Airfare. If you're taking a direct flight from DC to Accra, you're looking at, depending on how soon you leave out, somewhere between $800 to $1,600 round trip.
$800? You found a flight for $800?
I found a flight for $800.
Why didn't we take it?
Well, you had to be leaving tomorrow and come back in 2 weeks.
Okay, so
They have those kind of flights that they're just trying to fill up seats, and they go very low.
yeah, well, $800 is probably not what you should budget for. If I were setting a budget, I would budget between $1,200 to $1,800 depending on the season. Now, if you go at
Right.
Christmas time, you should plan like at least $2,000, right?
Yeah, $1,600 to $2,000 for round trip tickets during the holidays.
Yeah, so watch those holiday seasons. The fares do go up. And the other thing to really watch out for is the airlines and what they charge for extra baggage. Most airlines will give you one suitcase with about a 40-pound limit, which is down from the 50 pounds that it used to be. So you are really limited in what you can bring with you.
Right.
You will pay extra fees at the airport for every pound that you go over, believe me. And you don't want to be one of those people in the airport with your suitcase open trying to move things around to get it all to balance
Layering
out.
up 5 or 6 shirts to
Never.
get your
That's
weight
never
down.
happened to me at all. Anyway, so some airlines will let you have 2 suitcases included with your fare. So when you are researching that airlines, make sure that you are paying attention to the luggage policy, because that is going to be huge. So for the 4 of us, we'll have 8 suitcases. Hopefully we'll be able to get everything we need in those 8 suitcases.
She's being modest. We'll probably have around 10.
Oh my God, how much extra
Or
are the extra
12.
suitcases going to be?
I think one suitcase will be just for food. Mainly grits.
Okay, wait. So let's ask Ivy. Ivy, what are some things that we need to bring from the States?
I've gotten so used to things now that sometimes it's hard for me to remember the things that I had a hard time getting used to. So because as I've been in Ghana over the years, the things that I initially felt I should have brought, eventually those things are here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say also for women, for feminine hygiene products, there may be stuff that you're used to that you won't find here. The other thing is, that is a sad fact that I was having a conversation with somebody about yesterday, is the way that companies make the lower grade of products for African countries.
Yes, they do.
So for example, for women's feminine hygiene, Always brand, the one that they sell in North America is far better than the quality of the one they make for Africa.
Yes.
As a woman, you can tell. You're like, this is not the same as.
It is not the same. And women are very brand, we stick to a
Brand
brand
loyal.
when it comes to
Yeah.
feminine products. So there's an adaptation there.
Yes. So I advise women, if you like what you have, to ship, maybe a year's worth. If you know you're going to be here a year and you'll go back for a visit, ship a year's worth so you have it with you, or 2 years worth, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
So that's something that I usually say to bring. Men, it's so cheap to get a haircut, because I know guys who ship like the clippers and all that kind of stuff so they can do their own, but it's so cheap to get a haircut and get your
Right.
beard done that you don't necessarily have to. But if you want to do your own, I would recommend shipping your own clippers and stuff, because you'll get a better quality one from, you know, what you're bringing with you. If you have children, if you have, you know, toddlers, infants, babies, I would recommend that the things you need for them for safety, bring them from America.
Absolutely.
Because it's very difficult to find in Ghana, almost impossible. I have a friend who was trying to find, there's these door stoppers you can put on the door so that when kids are opening and closing, they don't smash their fingers.
Yes.
She can't find it. So she's like, she wished she would have brought some from the States.
Yes.
So things like that are hard to find here. I think because culturally, a lot of Ghanaians are used to, they just put the child on their back. They're doing what they do. The child's on their back the whole time. So it's like, that's their control of keeping the child from going all over the place. But Western society, we're used to just letting the kids roam and do what they want and explore.
Yeah, and favorite toys as well. So if your kid is like really into, I don't even know, Hot Wheels would be an example. Hot Wheels are $1 here, no big deal.
Yeah, over there they were like $6.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you know that your child has certain toys that they really love to interact with, you may decide to bring a couple extra so that you've got them around. Or you know they're going to get into those toys in the near future. You might want to just have a few.
Would it be better for me to bring a vehicle or to just try my luck with one there?
The problem with trying to find one here is, especially if it's a used one, is you don't know the history of the vehicle.
Right.
There's not a well-organized system like in North America where you can check with the VIN number to find out the history on the vehical. So here, there's not that system. So you don't know what the previous owner may have been doing with the car, or what problems may have arisen through the years of owning the car. The other challenge is, and I know the government is working to curb this issue, there are people who have shipped cars that are not even allowed to be used in North America. So a car that may have been through a flood and should be just written off and wrecked, a car that may have been in several accidents and should just be written off, and you know, they'll ship it here and someone will fix it and try to sell it without telling you the history about the vehicle. So you don't know what problems it may have in the past, because you can't check. So
and as far as the shipping costs for a vehicle, what kind of prices do you think we're looking at if we're shipping a vehicle there?
Shipping vehicles is expensive. I don't have exact figures, but I know people who've told me that they've spent anywhere from $2,000 up to $15,000 to ship and clear their vehicles.
Wow.
The higher numbers would be for like SUVs. I know someone who shipped a Cadillac Escalade and paid $15,000 to clear it at the port.
Yeah, and it's not just for those that are listening, it's not just the shipping cost that you can look up. It's that you have to clear the vehicle on the other end. So you have to pay the Ghana ports their fees and duties before you can get it out of shipping.
Yes, and it's been known that people who weren't aware of the excessive shipping cost at the port, that some people just end up leaving the car because they're like, I can't pay that. And they just leave it. And now these people have gotten a free car now because you can't afford to clear it. I also advise people to, when they come to Ghana, to kind of get an idea of which cars would be easier to take care of. So, so that's something to keep in mind as well when bringing a vehicle is, are there people available who could fix this model of a car? A lot of people have like Mercedes, so there's people who can fix Mercedes here. And then the Toyota's brands, as I said.
Oh my gosh, all the information that we were able to get from Ivy is going to be super helpful, not only for us as we're preparing to move, but for anybody else out there who's trying to figure out how to make this move to Ghana happen. So hopefully you'll take the advice of her and subscribe to her channel.
Number 5, what to do when you get there.
So the second biggest cost to moving to Ghana is actually what you're going to do once you land. And we're including this in the moving piece because I feel like it's still kind of a part of getting yourself settled. So once you land, you're going to want to plan on a few days, weeks, or even how long do you think it'll take? Like
Give yourself a good month.
You think a month?
Yeah, you should be able to find
things
something.
move a little slower, so you might decide that you need like 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks to get yourself settled. And in that time, you're going to want to look for a place, establish school for your kids, figure out what your transport's going to look like, and that kind of gets pricey. You'll have to decide if you want to stay at an Airbnb or a hotel. If you're lucky enough to have family, then this cost will get cut dramatically. But if not, an Airbnb goes for...
on the low end, around $40 a night, and they go up from there. It really depends on the accommodations that you're going to be wanting to seek out.
Yep, and then if you're staying in a hotel, I mean, the price can go...
Ooh, wow.
It can go up as high as you want, but...
And again, yeah, it depends on the accommodations that you're going to feel comfortable with. So I've found $75 range to $110 range is just fine. You can get lucky and find something as low as $50 that you'll be comfortable with. So it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with your budget and personal choice.
Yep. So plan on 14 days of accommodations to 30 days of accommodations at whatever you can pay per night. In addition to those 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to need to be moving around in the city or in the town that you're trying to navigate. So you're going to need a driver. Mm-hmm. You had a driver the last time that we were there.
Yes.
And what did you?
I had a driver per day. He cost me about 60 CDs a day. And that was unlimited access and not unlimited. It was unlimited access for him to take me places, but I had to buy him lunch and dinner. So
do you want to give a shout out?
Shout out to Elliot, my Uber driver. See you soon, hopefully, man.
So you can get a driver for anywhere from $12 to $15 per day, depending kind of where you're trying to navigate. It's just as easy to set up rides through Uber. Make sure that you download the app and set up your account before you come so that everything is smooth once you get here. But with that being said, Uber, you found that Uber was cheaper.
Uber is cheaper than the taxis. The taxis have been taking a hit from the Uber drivers. There's this competition. So the Uber I found was cheaper. And if you're taking a taxi, they find out you're a foreigner. The prices go up in taxis. Uber is a one-shot deal. You know the price before you get there or before the Uber even comes. You know what you're paying.
Absolutely. So, but also remember that Uber in Ghana is still cash. So it's going to show you the price for your ride, but you're going to need to have CDs on hand to pay them. It won't charge your PayPal account or credit card or anything else. You're going to get that price quote and pay them in cash on the ride. But it's nice to be able to see the license plate and the driver and the rating and everything. So
added security.
I feel like that too. Good. So you're going to want to plan on anywhere from $12 to $15 per day for your 2 to 4 weeks for navigating around the city and figuring things out. Plus whatever you're going to have for food and drink for those 2 to 4 weeks. So this is where it can really start to add up.
Yeah.
Pandemic fee?
What is that?
Yes. So if you're going to Ghana anytime soon, when the borders open up, you're going to have to quarantine for 14 days at your expense.
Wait, what?
Yes, at your expense. What you're going to have to do is, once you get into Ghana, you're going to be taken into a hotel or some kind of accommodations that you're going to choose. The level, it goes, I think the ranges are from $40 to about $200 a night per person.
Holy cow.
Yes, so
for 14
days. So you choose the level between the $40 and the $200 or whatever that accommodation is for you. And what's going to happen is you're going to stay there for 14 days. If you're not sick, they're going to let you out and you can go and enjoy the country. But if you're sick, they're not going to let you out. And I don't know if they're going to kick you home or what, but you definitely got to pay the 14-day quarantine fee before you even come into the country. So that's something you have to think about if you're moving to Ghana or considering moving anytime directly after the borders open up.
Yikes. Okay, so now I said shipping was the most expensive part, but quarantine fee could be the most expensive part.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay, let's do some math and start adding up these totals. Okay, so option number 1 is the cheapest option, and that is just you, a couple of suitcases, and maybe staying at a really cheap Airbnb, not in city center or with family. And if you can do that, that's the cheapest way to get you to Ghana. If you do that, you're looking at 4 basic costs. 1 is the paperwork. How much is the paperwork?
Paperwork's going to be about $275 per person.
All right. The next one is going to be the airfare. And how much are we averaging for airfare?
Airfare is going to average you around $1,000 per person.
I think that might be conservative, but we'll go with 1,000. And then you're going to have to look at your housing when you get there. And because we're hoping that you can stay with family, someone you know, or at a cheap Airbnb for only 14 days and not 30, what is the housing fee?
Housing fee, you're looking around $700.
All right. And remember, that's not per person, so bring your family along. And then the last one is the quarantine fee.
Quarantine fee, $560 per person.
Per person, $560 per person. Okay, so let's total this really quick. If you are a single person coming and you choose this option, what is the total?
$2,560 US.
Awesome. If you are a couple or a two-person group, how much is this going to cost with this option?
Right around $4,370.
All right, and if you are a family of 4, this option costs how much?
Right around $8,040.
$8,040. So this is the option that we're choosing, and so that's the budget amount that we are targeting is right around $8,000 to $10,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go sell some more blood. All right, so we're gonna look at option number 2. All right, so option number 2 is your middle of the road option. For that one, we're looking at paperwork.
$275.
Still $275 per person. And what do we need for airfare?
The same $1,000.
Same $1,000 per person. And then we also need to worry about shipping. And for this shipping calculation, we've decided to go with a basic shipping barrel. So that's a small shipping amount where you're just shipping your basic essentials. You're not shipping a car or a big container or anything else, just a small barrel. That's it. And what's the fee for that one?
$600 to $800.
$600 to $800. And then you have to think about your housing when you get there. And for this option, we decided 30 days because maybe you need a little longer to settle in, which means you're looking at a per day for 30 days with a driver. What was the total for that one?
$1,500.
$1,500. And then the quarantine fee. What are we looking at for that? We decided to upgrade that. The first option, we went with the $40 a night option. This option, we're averaging it out for the $75 per day option per person. What's the total?
$1,050 per person.
$1,050 per person. Is that right?
That's a lot of money. That's right.
Oh my gosh. So that adds up really quick if you're talking about a family of 4. So let's break that down per person. If you are a single person coming and you choose this option, how much is it going to cost?
$4,625.
All right. If you are a couple or 2 people, how much is it going to run you?
$6,850.
And if you are a family of 4, this option is going to cost you
$11,500.
Ay, ay, ay. You might have to sell one of the kids. Okay, maybe not.
Somebody's not coming. That's a lot of money.
All right. So then the last option, level number 3, we're going to call this the baller level. Okay, it's not really the baller level, but this is going to be the most expensive option we're going to run through. And for this one, we are looking at paperwork. What's the paperwork fee?
$275.
And then you're looking at airfare, and that's going to be?
$1,000.
And those are both per person. Now we're going to talk about shipping. For this option, we've decided to average in a shipping of an entire car and include belongings with that shipping. So this would not be a roll-off. It would be an entire container where you're allowed to pack your materials inside of the vehicle, inside of the container. What is the fee for that shipping option?
You're looking at $8,000.
$8,000. And remember, that can go up depending on what duties are assessed at the other end. So this is some basic duties we've calculated into it and the cost of shipping. But if you end up shipping like an Escalade, you're going to pay more duties on the other end. Don't ship an Escalade though, please. Don't. All right, so $8,000 for shipping. And when you get there, your housing fees are going to be averaged out to, what did I average this one for?
$3,750.
$3,750, and that is with a daily driver plus hotel fees. All right, so that brings your housing cost in there, and then the quarantine fee. How much did I average for a quarantine fee?
$2,100 per person.
$2,100 per person, and that's picking the $150 per person per day level. Whew, what is the total for what we just said for one person?
$15,125.
$15,000? Oh my God. Okay, so $15,000 for one person. And if you are a couple,
$18,500.
$18,500. And for a family of 4,
$25,250.
$25,000.
$25,000.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So we're a family of 4, and we are not spending $25,000 to go.
There's no way we'd spend that money.
Oh my gosh, that is a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we're going with the $8,000 something option. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we're going for the quality of life over the materialistic.
Yeah.
Thing.
And we've talked about this before. Like, if you're moving to Ghana and you want to take your American life and drop it in Ghana, it's going to be costly.
It's going to be costly. I found that most of the people that do that, they live in Accra. They pay maybe 3 or 4 times what we're looking to pay as far as rent. And it's just a different lifestyle. It really costs, all the American amenities just cost too much to get. So
those are like people who are paying like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 US dollars a month in rent.
Yeah, we're not on that level.
We're not going to do that. So if you are watching this and you have $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 to pay every month in rent, call us up. We'd love to come over for dinner. Your treat. Maybe head out. I don't know. Your treat though, right?
You can adopt a family anytime.
Help subsidize our move. We've got friends. Anyway, that is the rundown of what it costs to move. Hopefully you are still feeling inspired to make the leap, but obviously you have got to have a financial plan.
Yeah. Get your money right. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's something that is very worthwhile, and you will be so rewarded for it.
Absolutely. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope you enjoyed all of our special guests that you saw along the way, which included Ivy Prosper. She's got her own YouTube channel. I'm going to drop a link right up there so that you can see it. Please be sure to check out her channel. And you got to see Luke and Leo make an appearance in this video today. So leave a comment below and let us know that you saw them, you thought they were adorable, and say hi.
Don't forget to hit that like. See you for now.
All right, y'all. So the cheapest option. God does not want me to record today. All right, let's try that again. Lightning and thunder, let's chill. Okay, so option number 1 is the cheapest option, and that
Housing.
Housing, if you do a
I was trying to guess. I feel like Donald Trump right now.